Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast. You might be wondering where was I off to? I mean, no one really watches these videos, but okay. I am gonna pretend for my own self, what is that word? Self confidence, self motivation, self esteem, for my own self esteem that many people are watching this video. So you might be wondering where was I off to? Where have I been? Well, honestly, I wanted to record really, but in the past few days it has been raining heavily, and it has only stopped raining in the last week. And as you all might be familiar, I run a really professional streaming setup, sorry, recording setup, in which I have to keep my camera, phone that is, I have to keep my phone in the top pocket, and that's what records the video, and then I have this Bluetooth intercom system in my helmet which records the voice. So even though it was really easy for me to record the audio, for me to record the for me to record the audio, the video part would have been, you know, would have been difficult because I would have been wearing a raincoat, and then again I would have been I could not expose my phone to the rain and record it. So there's that. I tried implementing. I had taken the car out couple of times in the last week, but I couldn't record it at that time because I tried to set the camera up and I wasn't successful in setting it up only after a single try. And because I am so highly motivated to record this particular broadcast, I gave up immediately. As a matter of fact, I wasn't going to record today either. It's only I had YouTube Premium, and I had set up my playlist, and I had set up my own queue. But then, unlike other content creators who schedule their own, record schedule, have a professional setup and all those things, edit. And since I am going to go toe to toe with them with my own extremely high effort recording style, I thought that it's better we at least record today so that there is something to upload. So here we are. And as usual, I really don't have anything to say, so I might give up after recording for 10-15 minutes. But I am going to plow through as much as I can. Couple of news. I was watching. So for all those who are not familiar, one of my along with my most trusted source of information, which is Instagram Reels, I also have another source for information related to cars specifically, that is Motoring. It's a channel with Shumi and Karthikeyan, and it's a podcast. I mean, why I describe in the channel, it's a very high possibility that other people who don't really have a channel, who don't really, other people, the chances of other people knowing Motoring is way more than people watching my channel. So yeah, so I mean, there's no real point in describing what they do, but still. So my source of information related to cars was, excuse me, my source of information for car related shit was Motoring, and I just came to know. I was watching one of the one of their uploads, recent uploads, and the comments in that video were on the lines of, don't leave Motoring and all that and all this, and the quality of that video was pretty bad, first of all. But yeah, so there's that. And yeah, so and then I went to the Instagram because I went through the entire video thinking that they might have addressed the situation somewhere in the video. Maybe, but in the entire video they didn't speak anything about this. So then I went to the Instagram and I searched their page, and that's when I came to know that Shimi and what's his name, Karthikeyan had collectively come up with a post about their situation, and I was taken back. Now, who will I refer to for comprehensive 1 hour long videos, which I can then reframe as my own information through my own research and then broadcast it onto my channel? As of now, I mean, since their format was working pretty well, I'm pretty sure that they'll come up with something else. But then let's see what happens. So there's one part of the information. Now let's come to the actual car part. I watched a few reviews about Tata Sierra and the Tata Sierra EV, to be honest. Lots of things the Tata Sierra has. It has something known as a prismatic cell design for the battery cells, because of which it is, and these prismatic cells are energy dense. Hence, even though the Tata Sierra has lesser space for a battery as compared to the Harrier, it is able to mount the same 75 kilowatt hour battery inside it. And then that's when I came to know that the Tata Sierra platform was designed in such a way that the same platform could be used for petrol, diesel, and and EV as well. That's a good thing. And one more thing about the Tata Sierra EV's platform, Tata Sierra's platform, sorry. This platform is likely rumored to be used by Jeep. There is a increased collaboration between Stellantis, whatever, and Tata. For those who are not familiar, Stellantis and Tata were working in collaboration earlier. Stellantis being the parent company of GMC, Jeep, and yeah, I think a few more companies. And after Cummins, and yeah, I think after Cummins, right? No one else makes diesel engines. After Cummins, for commercial vehicles, Stellantis is rumored to have the best and the most reliable diesel engines. And this collaboration started really with And this collaboration started really with, the Tata Safari. I think the Tata Safari had the Stenolis diesel engine, and this Stenolis diesel engine is used in many other platforms, as I have mentioned in my previous videos. So that partnership has rumored to have become more dense now. This is for sure that now Stenolis vehicles will be manufactured in India by Tata, and they are rumored to be based upon a platform which is used by Tata, and it is rumored that the upcoming Jeep vehicles will be on the Tata Sierra platform. Look how the turntables have turned, friends. Tata has now created a global level platform with the Tata Sierra. Not that they never could. They already had all, but it was other way around till now, right? I mean, the Tata Safari, the Harrier, also uses a global standard platform in the form of what's his name? What's the name of the in the form of the D5 platform. And the D5 platform at that point was also being used in the Distra. Anyways, and no other company as of now that I am familiar is using a global level platform. And before I continue, I saw the this thing, the promotion video of the Tata Sierra EV during its launch event. In that video particularly, what they have done is uh, what we call in the local language a dumper. Fuck, what's the? Oh. In the local language, what we call as a dumper, which is basically a vehicle that is manufactured by Tata, first of all, to carry construction material from one place to another. And this particular, the dumper is standing at a standstill, and then the Tata Sierra EV is being driven towards it. And firstly, the demonstration was really about it showing its ADAS features. And that's when, the Tata Sierra EV detected that there was a tanker in the front and hit all the brakes. So there's that. And yeah, so that's and then I thought, okay, the test is over. I mean, there was nothing about this is not the standard Tata test where it usually ends up in some sort of a destruction. But yeah, I mean, fair enough. If it has safety features such that it won't crash in the first place anywhere, I mean that's good, right? So pretty happy after seeing that test. But then another truck was speeding from the behind actually, and that crashed into the rear of the Tata Sierra. For all those who don't know, vehicles are normally designed to sustain crashes from the front. It is assumed that a speeding vehicle might hit a tree, a pole, a vehicle, or something of that sort from the front, and that's what might lead to the accident. And really, the testing norms are also similar, and the rear of the vehicle for rear impact is believed to be the most unsafe part of the vehicle. Because if something is from the behind, it will just go off. And that's really how the crash tests are also, what you can say, set up in such a way that, the in such a way that I remember a funny thing that happened yesterday. But first, let me stick to the point. And that's how that's what the Tata people were trying to market by saying that not only it can take an impact from the front, but it can also take an impact from the back. And that was a really impressive test to do. So Tata have now made an in-house platform from scratch. I mean, obviously they have lots of resources at the hand. They have JLR, which are famous. I mean, Land Rover specifically, they are famous in creating robust platforms. So there is a very high chance that they might have used a few engineers from there. And so yeah, pretty impressive. I was pretty impressed by that video. So there's that. But then what the thing that I really want to speak about is videos by Shahs Beam or Faisal Khan and Gagan Chaudhary. So there's that. And these videos are, I mean, I get I to give them the benefit out of these particular YouTubers, react to a lot of global level cars as well, and react to a lot of what you can say, react to a lot of vehicles that are from many manufacturers. So that really strengthens their portfolio whenever they say something about a car. But then I'm also pretty taken back by what they say about the Tata vehicles, because I have a little different view about that. Because I myself own a Tata vehicle, and then now you can say, I mean, now there's also this part where I disagree because I myself own a Tata vehicle. It's not that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they always bring up these bugs where the Tata vehicles are buggy, then they have these weird features and all that, and I mean, yeah, the first batch of Tata vehicles is shit. And obviously, these guys were testing first batches of the CRIV in what's his name? In Faisal Khan's review, the steering apparently was not pointing straight. The 360-degree camera was laggy, and lots of things. But then the only thing which they really said, and one genuine criticism, which I might agree, which I agree myself as well, is that the vehicle is pretty stiff. But then, yeah, the vehicle is pretty stiff, and then yeah, they have 19-inch alloys, and then the tire wall is also not that thick, so the ride might feel bumpy. And yeah, the only thing that they seem to, what you can say, the only thing that they seem to say is good about the Tata Sierra EV is its performance. Even though Tatas usually are famous to make vehicles which are more customer or more family focused. I mean, they have a drift mode that is built into the Tata Sierra EV. But then this drift mode immediately gains traction and immediately understeers as per the review from both these individuals. Because yeah, even though it has a lot of performance, the focus of that particular brand is on safety. So unlike Mahindra, they don't make vehicles which are enjoyable, rather they make vehicles which are safe and easier to handle. So in a vehicle like this, to only say that the performance is good and only put forth the performance as the only positive part seems kind of weird. But then there is Tata as well. They have put forth a video, and I want to watch that video again because I'm pretty sure I have mistaken. But from what I remember, they have claimed the real world range of the Tata Sierra EV to be 702 kilometers, which is insane and impossible, to be honest. And I was pretty shocked by watching that, but then I thought that okay, they must have done something to, because they actually show that someone has taken that vehicles to a range of what you can say, to a range of 700 kilometers. I mean, they show that different people are taking it to Goa, I think, from Mumbai, and the elevation change and all that and all those things. And then one person is driving it family oriented, the other person is driving it for a business trip, and the other person is just a reviewer, and that reviewer is set out to drive the vehicle for range, but then there is a very high possibility that you must have driven with respect to range in mind and must have driven at 50-60 kilometers per hour, and that's how they must have gotten a range of 700 kilometers. I mean, Tata does all these things. Why can't you? Everyone knows that if the battery is of 75 kilowatt hour, then it might 75 to 80 kilowatt hour, then the maximum range that it's gonna give is up to 500 or 550 kilometers. Why do you want to make it obnoxious by putting forth that the vehicle can go up to 702 kilometers? Why would you do that? I mean, if you drive it in a certain way, it definitely will. But let's be really realistic. Will anyone really drive it that way? Will anyone go on a highway on a 702 kilometer, especially on a 702 kilometer range, not range, on a 702 kilometer journey with a speed of 50 to 60 kilometers per hour? The moment you reach any highway, your speed at least touches 80. At least 80. I have a family member who has an EV, and whenever they reach a highway, they cruise around 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, and that's when they get a range of almost 500 kilometers. Why can't you do that? I get the marketing part, but I mean, and it's pretty impressive also, to be honest, that if you drive at 50, 60, it can go for 700 kilometers, but so can any other vehicle, right? Anyways, so there's that. And what the point that I was trying to make is that they are highly critical about Tata vehicles, and I myself own a flagship Tata vehicle. I myself own a Tata Safari manual. I never felt the issue where the and he says that, and then Faisal Khan even goes ahead and says that this is the issue in almost all the Tata vehicles. If it's an issue in all the Tata vehicles, then why isn't an issue? Why isn't it an issue in mine? I never felt that if the steering is not aligned. As a matter of fact, after after listening to the review, I tried it in my vehicle, but it was working fine. Now people might say that I must have serviced it sometime and all those things, but no, I've never serviced it. So it is fine. And so there's that. And then the other, and I also remember a part in the Tata Safari video where they complained about the stocks. What is there to complain? The only complaint or the only, this thing, pet peeve, okay, let's put it as a complaint because it's a pretty serious thing. Because the only complaint that I have is that the stocks are not eliminated, but I don't think that's the case in the Tata Sierra EV as well. I need to check in other vehicles if that's the case there. I don't specifically, remember what was the case in my older i20. And I need to check really this particular point. But I don't think the stocks, I mean the indicator stocks and the wiper stocks are eliminated in any vehicle. That definitely wasn't the point. The other point was that I think it was about ergonomics, about it being placed weirdly. I never felt that issue. And it isn't like I'm stretching or I am someone of an unusual frame. I am what, 6? And as a matter of fact, multiple people have said that my limbs are smaller than my body. I mean, I use a UK 9 shoe. For someone of my structure, they use 11 or 12 number shoe. My hands are pretty small. One of my family members is what, 60 kg. She's a female, uh, they are size S, and their height is 5'3", yet the length of their hand is similar to mine. Might be half a centimeter of difference. So my limbs are pretty small. But I never felt that issue, that it is difficult to access or I have to stretch a lot or it is difficult as compared to any other vehicle and all those things. And apparently they have changed that in the Sierra, although I'm not sure how they have changed it. But yeah, I definitely. So, what I am trying to put forward here is that I think that these particular these particular reviewers are somewhat critical with Tata. They become nitpicky and they point out a lot of mistakes which, I mean, if they are pointing it out, they definitely are there, and Tata vehicles are meant to be shit in the first lot. But so are the other vehicles as well, right? I never sense a sense of negativity when they're reviewing any Mahindra vehicle. I never sense them, nitpicking. I mean, to give other vehicles a benefit of doubt, Tata gives this vehicle to the reviewers, to these two reviewers, and they give them a free hand to test it out and check what is happening and what not. And whereas the recent Mahindra vehicles which they have reviewed, the Mahindra XC7 XA and all the other vehicles, they were given for hours or like for a particular day or something like that. I'm not sure what the equation is for that. Yeah, if they were to spend more time with those vehicles, then, but I don't know, whatever is the scenario, might be the same duration, might not be the same duration. Tata vehicles are meant to be, are not meant actually, are believed, or they are pretty buggy in the soft lot. I don't know. I mean, there is this chance that sorry, there is this chance that since I myself own a Tata vehicle and it is hurried, it is definitely hurried, or maybe I'm not that observant when it comes, or maybe I'm just blindly in love with my vehicle. That's why I don't really observe those many things. Or, or the way things are in my particular vehicle, they really complement my style. For example, I'll tell you one thing in the Tata Safari. If you turn the indicator towards right and then you make your right turn, then in other vehicles, the indicator goes back, you know, it turns off when you make the turn and then you straighten up the steering again. In a Tata vehicle, in my vehicle specifically, I haven't tried any other vehicle. In my vehicle, the indicator stays on, you have to turn it off manually. Now, for me, that's a feature, because, and yeah, one more thing where, Tata vehicles have that part I agree. My vehicle has shit ton of blind spots, dude. But again, I don't really want to criticize that part that much, as you know. For me, it works really well, if I can say that. For me, even though the blind spots are there, so what I do is whenever I'm making any turn, or whether I am, even changing lanes, I always give the turn signal and then I trust the 360-degree camera. Whenever I am in a tough spot, I always turn the 360-degree camera turns on automatically. I would say 7 out of 10 times, but sometimes it doesn't. So at that particular point, what I do is I turn on the camera manually and then I navigate out of that situation. And the turn signal thing that I was thinking, that I was telling that it is a feature for me. The reason for that is obviously, when I turn it on, when I turn the signal on, since it has so many blind spots, that particular thing has become a feature for me. I'm able to see the road better. I'm able to ensure that there aren't any irregularities on that particular road, and overall I'm able to determine and make a better decision because of that. And it's a very high possibility that Tata was aware about the blind spots in their vehicle, and that's why they have deliberately added this feature. But I can see someone getting irritated by it very easily, because in most of the vehicles, if you turn on the right hand signal thing, if you turn that on, then it is. If you turn the right signal on, you make the turn and then you get out of the turn, the thing just shuts off. So that might, as a matter of fact, I have seen a couple of my friends, not couple of my family members who have driven my vehicle, complaining about this. So there's that. But I in general feel that Tata domesticates their vehicle a lot. They they know that they know that Indian people don't know how to drive, and since they know that Indian people don't know how to drive, they design their vehicles similarly. So that's that. But then, yeah, I still think that maybe the criticism that Tata gets for the things that Tata does might be slightly misplaced. So that's that. In terms of obviously. But that kind of shows one more thing about Tata as a brand. And that thing is, in spite of these people being critical about their vehicles, pointing out many things, they continue sending them vehicles and they continue giving them a free hand. That says a lot about a company as a brand. And yeah, but I still feel that it is slightly misplaced. Now, to highlight a few issues in the Tata Safari's competitor, the Mahindra XUV 7XO. The Mahindra XUV 7XO has a rumor about the sunroof leaking. I've seen many videos about that. The 7XO has a rumor about the suspension, and I have explained this in a couple of videos of mine as to why you should not go for the FDD suspension. Because simple logic, whenever you are buying any mechanical thing, the best logic to keep is that more the number of things that are moving, more is the possibility of it failing, and less is the reliability of that particular vehicle. And on that note, I would like to conclude today's video. And thanks to anyone and everyone who had tuned in or who will be tuning in the future, hopefully. And hopefully, I'll see you at the next one. Thank you and goodbye.